My name is Sarah, and for 12 years I believed I had the perfect marriage. My husband, Mark, and I had built a comfortable life together. We owned a beautiful home, shared dreams of growing old side by side, and spent weekends planning vacations we hoped to take once we retired. I trusted him completely. Before we continue, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell for updates. Then one afternoon, everything changed. I had been feeling exhausted for months. At first, I blamed stress and long work hours. But when the pain in my stomach became unbearable, I finally scheduled an appointment with my doctor. A week later, I sat in a cold hospital office staring at the specialist. His expression told me the news before he even spoke. "I'm sorry, Sarah," he said gently. "The tests show that you have stage 4 ovarian cancer." The room spun around me. Stage 4. Cancer. The words echoed inside my head like a nightmare. I barely remember driving home. My hands trembled as I unlocked the front door. Mark was sitting on the couch watching television. The moment he saw my face, he knew something was wrong. "What happened?" he asked. I burst into tears. "I have cancer." For a moment, he simply stared at me. Then he wrapped his arms around me and promised, "We'll get through this together." I wanted to believe him. At that moment, I truly did. But I had no idea that the diagnosis wasn't the beginning of my battle. It was the beginning of losing everything. The first few weeks after my diagnosis were terrifying. Doctors discussed treatment plans, chemotherapy schedules, and survival statistics. Every appointment felt like another punch to the stomach. At first, Mark attended every appointment. But slowly, something changed. He became distant. He stopped asking how I felt. When I talked about treatment, he seemed annoyed rather than concerned. One evening, while I sat on the couch recovering from chemotherapy, he walked into the room and sighed heavily. "This isn't what I signed up for," he muttered. I looked up in shock. "What does that mean?" He rubbed his face. "I don't know if I can do this, Sarah." His words hit harder than the cancer diagnosis itself. "Do what?" I asked. "Spend years taking care of someone who's dying." I felt my heart break. The man who had promised to love me in sickness and in health now spoke about me like I was already gone. Over the next few months, the distance between us grew wider. He stayed out late. He ignored my calls. He complained about hospital bills and canceled plans. The loneliness became unbearable. Then one night, he finally said the words that destroyed what remained of our marriage. "I want a divorce." I stared at him, unable to breathe. "A divorce? Now?" He nodded. "I can't live like this anymore." At my weakest moment, when I needed him most, he walked away. And that wasn't even the worst part. 3 weeks later, divorce papers arrived in the mail. I cried for hours. Not because I wanted him back, but because I couldn't believe how quickly 12 years of marriage had disappeared. Friends and family were furious. Some tried convincing him to reconsider. He refused. His explanation was simple. I deserve to be happy. Meanwhile, I was fighting for my life. Chemotherapy left me exhausted. Some days I couldn't get out of bed. Other days I sat alone wondering if I would survive long enough to see another Christmas. Yet something unexpected happened. People I barely knew stepped forward to help. Neighbors brought meals. Coworkers organized fundraisers. Old friends traveled across the country just to sit beside me during treatments. The support reminded me that real love doesn't disappear when life becomes difficult. Months passed. The treatments were brutal, but they began working. My doctors noticed improvements. Tumors started shrinking. For the first time since my diagnosis, I felt hope. Then one afternoon, I received a phone call from my oncologist. The scans looked better than anyone expected. Much better. I wasn't cured, but I was responding remarkably well. For the first time, my future didn't seem impossible. And ironically, that was when Mark suddenly wanted to talk. A year after our divorce, I looked completely different. My strength had returned. My hair was growing back. Most importantly, I had learned how strong I truly was. One evening, Mark called unexpectedly. "I heard your latest scans were good," he said. "Yes," I replied. There was a long silence. Then he said something I never expected. I made a mistake. I almost laughed. This was the same man who abandoned me when I needed him most. The same man who divorced me because he thought I was dying. Now that I was improving, he suddenly regretted his decision. I miss you, he continued. I want another chance. I looked around my apartment. Photos of supportive friends covered the walls. Flowers from loved ones sat on the table. I had rebuilt my life without him. And for the first time, I felt completely free. No, I said calmly. What? No, Mark. You left when things got hard. You showed me exactly who you are. He tried apologizing. Tried explaining. Tried blaming fear. But none of it mattered anymore. When I hung up the phone, I didn't feel anger. I felt peace. Cancer had taken many things from me. My health. My marriage. My sense of security. But it had also revealed the truth. The people who truly loved me stayed. The people who didn't walked away. And sometimes, the greatest victory isn't surviving the disease. It's surviving the betrayal that comes with it. As I watched the sunset from my window that evening, I smiled. Because I realized something important. My husband didn't leave me because I had cancer. He left because he lacked the courage to stand beside someone who needed him. And losing a man like that was never a tragedy. It was a blessing in disguise.